Welcome to another episode of Chisel This. I'm your host, Matt Forio. We're going to be discussing a very special rap battle today, one written by yours truly, and that is Spider-Man versus Captain Jack Sparrow. I'm here with Stoforex and Felix. Say hi.
So, how come that, you chose Spider-Man to go up against Captain Jack Sparrow? Like, what is the connection? Like, why?
Spider-Man and Jack Sparrow, two very weird people to put up against each other, and there are many reasons why I put them up against each other, but the number one reason, and I hate that this is the number one reason because I wish that it wasn't the case, and you wouldn't necessarily know that I was playing both of them if you're just a casual watcher.
I had a Spider-Man costume that my uncle purchased for me because I was dressing up as Spider-Man to go to his son's birthday party with. So I danced around and jumped around as Spider-Man at his son's birthday party. They bought me that suit to do that. So I made use of that suit in this rap battle. Now, Jack Sparrow, I had the wig for, but getting the rest of this stuff was kind of hard for me to do. So I went to the Party City and I gathered what I could, and I came up with this. Now, of course, there has to be reasoning behind it. So the reasoning that I put behind this battle, and I mention it a lot within the battle's text as well, is that they're two very corrupt people who try to be heroes but fall short of the mark. Spider-Man has his flaws, Captain Jack Sparrow has his flaws, and I believe that they could both be exploited in this rap battle with each other. Plus, I can make it happen. The real reason is because I can make it happen.
What was on your thought, you came up with that this, and that this, and that this, how did you write it, basically? Where did all the inspiration and ideas for the business come from?
So this is where it starts. It all has a central starting point. And that, for me, is a desire to not make it an epic rap battle of history. There's obviously a huge inspiration of them into the community of making rap battles, and they kind of started people making rap battles in general, regardless of whether it's an epic rap battle of history or just a rap battle. But what I like to do with mine is put a story behind it. So I have to find a way to introduce these two people into the same world, and then they would start rapping with each other. So that was a challenge for me. So I figured that where would Spider-Man naturally be? Where would Jack Sparrow naturally be? Since Jack Sparrow is a criminal, per se, and Spider-Man is more of a superhero who's fighting against criminals, I thought it would be fitting for Spider-Man to be searching around the city for a criminal, and then he sees a wanted dead or alive poster for the one and only Captain Jack Sparrow. We start off the battle with that exact scenario. He says, wanted dead or alive, who could it be? So this is how we do an indirect diss. That's what I call this. When you want to call someone a derogatory term, it's weak to just come out and say, you're Pepe Le Pew, you stink. You can't do that. Now there's a few different reasons for Pepe Le Pew, basically because he kind of looks like him, and Johnny Depp based his impression on him off of a variety of characters, one of which being Pepe Le Pew. So that's a fun fact if you didn't know that. But he also smells because he's a dirty pirate, so he calls this guy perverted, smelly crook of the high seas. Now we have to find a way to incorporate spitting silk into the battle. We don't want to say, I'll spit my silk on you, or I'll do a string spray and knock you down to the ground. Ooh. I always find a way to indirectly weave throughout the text of this battle different things that I want to say that could be said directly, but shouldn't be. Spider-Man says, I've been waiting for a crook to spit my silk on for my feed, and the Moonlight says, tonight I'll take a pirate's life for me. A pirate's life for me, that's the song, a pirate's life for me, yo-ho, yo-ho, but he's also taking the pirate's life, but he's killing the pirate. That's another way of incorporating wordplay. For Sparrow to say, I'll beat you in this battle because that's what pirates do, and that's a pirate's life for me. That's there. It's in the air. And what you have to do is grab it out of the air and bring it into your text, but add different things to it. You have to make it a mixture of different things. A lot of it is indirect dissing and rewording things into a way that's creative rather than textbook. One thing that I really like to do in battles, and it happens in this battle a lot, is create, per se, a situation. I feel like creating a situation is the best way to indirectly diss someone or something. Spider-Man starts the situation. When he says that he's going to beat this guy, fight him with ease, he's professionally trained, he's going to leave this battle unscathed with a string-sprayed slave laying sprawled in a cave with this saying on his grave, Spider-Man's the only killer he couldn't escape. So that's creating a scenario. Instead of saying, I'll leave you string sprayed, I'll leave you sprawled in a cave, I'm the only person that you couldn't escape. Instead of saying that, we create this scenario where all the things are happening in the third person, making it to where it's not so much braggadocious, rather it's, this is what's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen because I'm this much better than you. Another way to call someone a name is through an intense rhyme scheme. So here we have, you're washed out, you old coot, not the fountain of youth could ever come to rescue you from our bout for the truth. A false security of confidence is about to get duped, as Captain Morgan takes out drunkard faster than you. Almost all of those words rhyme with fountain of youth. Out you old coot, fountain of youth, bout for the truth, about to get duped, and then we have faster than you, which is a more situational rhyme where you can change it just for the sense of bringing about that situation into the text. But that's another way of calling someone something. If I were to just call him an old coot as a filler to put something in, if I had this great punchline at the end of it and I had nothing to put before it, I could just call him an old coot. And would that work? Yeah, but is that clever? Is that weaving it throughout the text? Not really. So we bring up this whole rhyme scheme where we rhyme all these things together in order, and we just kind of, it's like punch after punch after punch. Every single rhyme is a punch to the face. And then that last line we have, Captain Morgan takes out drunkards faster than you. That's a play on words because Captain Morgan is an alcoholic beverage. It's safe to say that drinking alcohol would take out someone who's being drunk, like as a knockout, like make them unconscious. So he's saying that a fictional pirate who was the face of this beer brand or alcohol, whatever it is, that can take out a drunk pirate faster than you can because you're not skilled. It's all about taking shots at different things with one line. That's how you kind of find a way to put more than what fits into the battle. I've seen bigger threats reading Charlotte's Web. That line was with me as soon as I thought of the idea because he's a spider, and then a lot of the jokes in this are about spiders, and if you don't get them, I'm going to outline them right now. Here's another way that we say all these bad things about him, just through one punch-out rhyme scheme. You are a feisty little spidey with identity discrepancies, neglected by society and left to live decrepitly, terrified of women, but I bet that's no effect to the neurotic arachnid with a lack of functioning testes. What we do there, come out, rhyme scheme after rhyme scheme, and just list all the things that are wrong with Spider-Man in a situation that fits. We create the situation where all these things are happening with Spider-Man, but every single line is a punch and a jab at what he stands for. Don't test me, I'll leave your panties in a bunch when I remind you that sparrows eat insects for lunch. You figured it would be hard to bring a full circle line into Jack Sparrow and Spider-Man. And the whole premise of rap battling is there's obviously something in common between these two or you wouldn't have put them up against each other. So propose a line that makes sense to both. Bring something from here, something from here, bring them into one and have them explode. That happens a few times in this battle. It was quite difficult because of how unrelated the two are. But here we have, don't test me, I'll leave your panties in a bunch, and I'll remind you that sparrows eat insects for lunch. Now, don't test me is following the rhyme scheme that was beforehand. I would never say that if it wasn't. But I'll leave your panties in a bunch is taking a jab at how Spider-Man wears very tight spandex suit type thing. When I remind you that sparrows eat insects for lunch. Sparrow, Captain Jack Sparrow. Sparrows are birds, sparrows eat insects. Spider-Man is a type of bug insect. That's how you bring everything full circle. We also propose the situation like we did before. We don't just want to say, I'm going to beat you because sparrows eat insects for lunch. We propose a situation where Spider-Man's panties will be left in a bunch when he is reminded of the fact that the kind of Captain Jack Sparrow feasts on the kind of Spider-Man. And here we have walk the plank, mate, take a dive like Gwen so you can die the same way as your ex-girlfriend. You know, fall off the bridge, go into the water so that you can die the same way as your ex-girlfriend. But it's also one of those full circle lines where we have walk the plank and diving into the water. In both situations, in Captain Jack Sparrow's situation and Spider-Man's situation, someone is going into the water off of a high platform. So that's how we incorporate both lifestyles of the superhero and of the pirate into a line that really targets Spider-Man's emotions. Theme park line just had to be in there because they got rid of it and it was just, like, it's just a funny thing to point out because of how terrible the ride was. It was also an inside joke because if you watch the beginning of the video, a lot of the footage and the backgrounds were filmed by myself at the Captain Jack Sparrow ride before it closed down in Disney World. You want to play games and you better know your place. I don't play with a knave. A knave is a dishonest or unscrupulous man. The secondary definition for a knave is another term for a jack in a deck of cards. So not only are we calling him dishonest and unscrupulous, but we're also relating it to his first name, Jack. And then also he doesn't play with the knave, he doesn't like to play with the jack of cards in the deck. Sparrow comes back up with the rhyme scheme. Squirt be afraid, hooks it out Slade, Cirque du Soleil, swinging all day, Cirque du Soleil, carnival act, poking fun of things again. Now, do I spray you with rage, disintegrating your flesh, or do I leave you to be in a laugh in the crow's nest? Some may say that I'm breaking my own law here, but this is one of the question clauses. You can ask questions in a situation where you're setting up a diss by proposing a situation that could only be possible if and only if the follow-up to that question is true. And that situation in itself is the paradox of diss. It's rhetorical. If you're asking a question and it's rhetorical, as if, like, you're not just asking a question like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You're rude, you're mean. You don't want to do that. You want to make it paradoxical. Also, you can use it in comparisons like this. Think your mommy gets your spidey senses tingling? Please, I'll leave you shaking like you got Peter Parkinson's disease. We're asking him a rhetorical question that sets up for the next part of the line. He says, you think your mommy gets your spidey senses tingling? I'm going to make you shake or tingle even more than that. Spidey senses tingling. I kind of interpret that as a sexual innuendo. Spider-Man has an edible complex. He's in love with his mom. Something that was touched on in the comic books. And then we relate to his name, Peter Parker, that Captain Jack Sparrow is so scary that he will leave him shaking more than he shakes from his spidey senses tingling from his mom. The platform for the hitbox of the line. You can also use it in a jokingly rhetorical situation where there are two situations that can result in two outcomes. These outcomes could be both detrimental for the opponent or one can be detrimental, and the other one can be in regards to asking the opponent if he will continue a certain behavior that, if he does not abide to your wish, will eventually result in the other detrimental outcome. For example, now do I spray you with rage, disintegrating your flesh, or do I leave you to be in a lap of the crow's nest? Those are both questions, but they're very rhetorical in the sense that they bring about the diss in a jokingly manner. In both of those situations, getting sprayed with rage and getting eaten alive in the crow's nest, both of those situations are detrimental for Spider-Man. So by asking both of them, he's saying, not only will one of which happen, but the one that happens, no matter which one it is, you're going down. And it's also a play on words how Spider-Man insects, again, going back to the Sparrow thing, the crow's nest is part of the ship that pirates have, and crows also eat insects, and then raid is a intoxicating spray thing that we did with the bugs with. So we're going to finish off the rap battle here. Now I'm needing to leave for I tally another casualty of the boy who inadvertently murdered his own family. This is how we bring it about in a way that doesn't directly diss him again. So it's all indirect. Jack Sparrow is saying that he has to leave right now, or he's going to tally another casualty, which means he's going to kill, he's going to mark, he's going to embarrass, he's going to dispose of yet another person, and that person is the boy, the silly boy who accidentally had his own family murdered.
What made you decide, the ending where, Spider-Man was like, spiders are not insects, they're arachnids or something?
Okay, this is why. That part only existed because I eat insects for lunch. Just to be able to say that line and not be criticized for spiders not being insects, I included that at the end to acknowledge that I know that spiders are not scientifically insects, they're arachnids. So they're basically like a fail-safe, like a scapegoat for me to put that line in the battle. So now we're going to go to the challenge segment, where if you watch the rhyme challenge, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, this is where I would like to have everybody type in the group chat something that they would like to see me rhyme something with. And right now I'll write a few bars that are relevant to that specific line. Good, I'll probably do them eventually. I might do, why don't I rhyme things with Spider-Man and Jack Sparrow?
So this is a re-recording of the rap that I wrote, just for quality purposes. When I'm in sight of fans, people like to call me the amazing Spider-Man, 'cause I'm swinging around as if I had a kite in hand, punching rappers in their right and gland. I'll fight the masses till I form a biker clan, and we can ride the span of the entire highway land, screaming he's the guy who holds the mic real tight in hand. Screw Spider-Man, I'm the man, and guys who can't quite understand, I'll strike 'em, jam 'em, then I'll watch them bite the sand.
Wow.
The man, the myth, the Jack Sparrow, spitting rhythms like a wicked zipping fast arrow. Old timer like them cracker barrels or them fat pharaohs. You guys lack gastrointestinal organs since you can't stomach this rap fiasco. I'll keep spitting till I'm driving in a black Camaro, but for now that's in the deepest of the ends, and I'm just coming up that shallow. Jack Sparrow.
That was good.
Thanks, guys. Expect more of them in future episodes. So this has been Chiseled This. Alright, my name's Matt Forio. I rap, we make videos, and we talk about bad lyrics and how to fix them. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.